Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment of the Township of Union, which is being held pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Law C-231, laws of New Jersey dated 1975. Notice of this meeting has been advertised in the local source, the newspaper of record. The notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call.
Mr. Wiley?
Here.
Ms. Martins?
Here.
Mr. Bettavegna?
Present.
Ms. Scott?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. McNeil is absent. Mr. Graves is absent. Ms. Ricketts?
Here.
Mr. Champy?
Here. There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from February the 26th and March the 5th. May I have a motion and a second?
I move that the meetings of February 26th and March 15th be approved as written and dispensed with their reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. At this time, are there any communications?
There are no communications.
Our first order of business this evening will be the adoption of a resolution for calendar number 3448, Ronald Carthy, located at 120 Elmwood Road. Board members, you've all had a chance to read the resolution. At this time, are there any board members that would like to make comments, changes, or modifications to this resolution as it has been written? Hearing none, may I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move the board adopt resolution for calendar 3448, Ronald Carthy, 120 Elmwood Road, as read and modified and as accurately memorialized the previous findings of this board.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Bettavegna?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes. And
Mr. Champy?
Yes. Our next order of business will be another adoption of a resolution for calendar number 3381, NATC Donuts Incorporated, located at 320 Chestnut Street. Applicant wishes to construct a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts with new signage. Again, members, you've all had a chance to read the resolution. At this time, are there any board members that would like to comment, make changes or modification to this resolution as it has been written?
Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, Rob Pansul, Board Attorney, this one had been passed at last meeting, but I did make a change. We updated some of the block and lot information. That's why it repeated onto the agenda tonight, so the corrections have been made, and we can move and adopt it as revised.
Thank you, Mr. Pansula. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move the board adopt resolution calendar 3381, NATC Donuts Inc., 320 Chestnut Street, as read and modified, as accurately memorializing the previous findings of the board.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Johnson? I'm sorry. Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
And Mr. Champy?
Yes. Our next order of business will be calendar number 3449, 611 Springfield Road, LLC, located at 925 through 929 Springfield Road, Block 3306, lots 11 and 12. Applicant wishes to combine lots and build a contractor's facility. Mr.
Yes.
Hale?
Good evening. Stephen Hale, representing the applicant, 611 Springfield Road, LLC. Great to see you all tonight. Thanks for coming out. This is an exciting development project for this property. If you recall, for a number of years, there were some old homes right there that kind of really didn't fit in. It's kind of surrounded by the White Castle parking lot. As you come down 22, you make the right, you've got the tire facility, and then this kind of isolated piece of property. In fact, I think years ago, my late father-in-law owned it and had employees for Union Paving living there. But the Latore family, Nick and Carmelo are here, and they're excited about opening a satellite facility. They're in Kenilworth in the Township of Union. I probably have to say no more than the beautiful rendering that Nick Graviano put together, which we'll testify about just briefly. But again, it's a one-story contractor's facility. It's got good landscaping, lighting, and layout, and again, just a very low-intensity use. It's in the zone. The reason before this board, it's in a zone it's the zone that's out on Route 22, but I think, as you see, this really is more fitting for this type of use than a retail-type use. And again, it's surrounded by commercial uses on all sides. We do have the Collier's review letter, which we received. Mr. Deck, our engineer, will review that, but no problem with any of those issues. And then Captain Guzman sent over his comments from fire. Again, no issues with fire. Again, Mr. Graviano will testify as to that, and he will also provide the planning testimony. If there's operational questions, we'll cover that in our testimony, but again, the representatives from Tori Construction are here to answer those. So what I'd like to do first is call upon Ed Deck, we'll have him qualified, and take us through existing conditions and then what's proposed by way of improvements. And then we'll
Yes,
get back
for
to
the
the
record,
render.
Council, Chairman, and board members.
Oh, good.
I marked A1, the application as it was submitted with the supporting materials. I marked A2, the architectural plans of Thomas Gillis consisting of 2 sheets, and I marked A3, the site plan prepared by Gorella and Deck consisting of 4 sheets. So we have A1 through A3 for the record. Mr. Deck, can I ask you to swear, raise your right hand and swear or affirm if the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
And for the record, if you could state and spell your name with your affiliation.
First name Edward, last name Deck, D-E-C. My office is at 131 North Michigan Avenue in Kenworth, and I'm the principal of that
Thank you.
organization.
And Mr. Deck, I know you've been before this board on many occasions, but briefly give the board your credentials.
Sure. I'm a graduate of New Jersey Institute of Technology. I'm a licensed professional land surveyor and a licensed professional civil engineer, also a certified municipal engineer. I've been a municipal engineer in the Borough of Roselle Park.
We'll accept
and
Mr.
also-
Deck's
Great.
credentials.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Mr. Deck, I think we have exhibits. We'll take down the rendering and reintroduce that when Mr. Graviano testifies. But why don't you take us through briefly your site plan, existing additions, and then what's proposed by way of improvements? I know you have perhaps one that we'll need to mark as an exhibit because that's a colored rendering that was not previously submitted, so.
Correct.
Did you want to start there? Or
Yeah, I'll
is it-
start there and then we'll
Okay.
go on to the more
So,
detailed
now,
aspect of the site.
Council, perhaps we could mark that as A3? Or A4, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's called the concept plan, and what we're showing here is where the green space will be, and obviously it's highlighted in green. We have it along the entire perimeter of the site. So that's the purpose of this plan, is to show where the differences are between pervious and impervious coverages. I'll now go to the more detailed aspects of the plans. What you see here is a drainage or the improvement plan that would include all of the infrastructure that's part of the improvement of the site. To the right of the zoning box is the picture that shows how the site will be graded, and it also adds dimensional distances for the size of the parking lot, the distance that the buildings are in relationship to the property lines. And then there's that third drawing that's to the bottom left, which shows you how the site will be lit. So I'll start with the upper left-hand corner one. We show here, primarily, the purpose of that is to show how we are addressing stormwater management for the site. What we have is an underground detention system. And what that will do is collect all of the runoff from the building itself and also all of the runoff that's generated from the parking lot. And what you see here, like the dashed line or block line, and also across the driveway, are inlets and a trench drain that will collect those, the runoff from the pavement. The roof runoffs are tied directly into the system. So what that'll do is retain the water for the 210 and 100-year storms and then release it into the existing storm sewer inlet that's out in the street. So that worked out well for us. We're able to connect to it without going out into the street. The site or picture or drawing to the right is the dimensional plan. And what we show there is the sizes of the parking lots, the way the parking lot is laid out. And as you can see, we have double stack parking on the right-hand side of that plan. What we're doing there is maximize the parking area that we have for the lot for parking. And the thought is that stacking wouldn't work, obviously, for some type of a commercial use where people are in and out, unrelated somewhat to the use of the building. But the reason this works so well for this site is that the primary occupiers would be the contractors themselves of the building, and they'll be parking in that row of parking right up against the curb on the right side. Then you'll have parking behind that, which can be used for additional employees or some visitors. And also the parking on the left is primarily for the use of people that will be coming to the site to maybe discuss business or for additional employees, or however that may generate what the type of use. The use is going to be commercial, but the type of people that be coming there. So we feel that double stack parking lot is a good idea and will prevent any type of parking where people will have to park in the street or anything like that. We have more than adequate parking with that double stack scenario. Then we have the bottom left picture, which shows the way site will be lit, which will be a light on either side of the parking lot. And as far as the light duration, obviously from dusk till, I would believe, till the end of operating hours, but that's something I think that the owner might want to discuss that when he testifies. And as you can see in the zoning chart, just try to zoom in on this myself. How do you zoom in on the picture? Just want to zoom in on that. There you go. All right. Thank you. All right, the zoning chart shows what is existing and what is proposed and what is required. As you can see, the required area is 40,000 square feet for a minimum lot size, lot width is 200, depth 200, 50 feet for a front yard, setback 20 feet for a side, and 50 for a rear, and percentages for coverage is 30% with a building coverage of building coverage 30%, maximum impervious coverage is 80%. So what we had previously were two lots, side by side, and they are both residential uses. But by combining the two lots, we are able to generate one lot that the proposed improvements will be on is about 15,400 square feet. The width is 103 feet for the width along the frontage, depth 149. For the front yard setback, we have 67 feet, which exceeds the minimum requirement. The asterisk alongside those first three items require a variance, and that would be area, square footage of the lot variance, a lot width variance, and a lot depth variance. These will go explained more in detail by the planner, Mr. Graviano, when he's testifying. The side yard setback, we have as 10 feet on either side for a total of 20, and that's also a variance that's required, and the rear yard of 10 feet, which is proposed, and that's also where the variance is. The use, as Mr. Hale pointed out, is the type of use that was initially there, and what we had there were residentials in the commercial highway zone, which is also a non-conforming use. So what we're proposing here is a commercial use, but it's not for construction is not what's allowed in that zone.
Right. And I think I mentioned in my opening, you've had an opportunity to review the March 11, 2025 Collier's review.
Yes, I have.
Any issues complying with any of those terms and
Absolutely,
conditions?
there's nothing here that we won't be able to comply
Okay.
to.
And I think the fire department was all related to building construction, but again, no issues from the fire department
That's correct.
standpoint? Okay. I have no further questions at this time. Mr. Deck?
Are there any board members that would like to question the testimony Mr. Deck has given? Hearing none, are there any
Okay.
members of
Yeah,
the
just
public?
have to, Nick, why don't we have Carmelo just briefly introduce himself? He's the owner of the property, and Latore, and just talk a little bit about his presence in Kenilworth and now expanding into Union. So, he didn't want to testify, but
Well,
Ed told him
let
he
me
had
just
to.
finish what I was saying. Are there any members of the public that
Oh,
would like to
sorry.
question the testimony of Mr. Deck? Hearing none?
So, you're going to be sworn in, hold on.
Good evening. Can I ask the witness to raise your right hand if you could swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
And for the record, just state and spell your name with your affiliation.
Carmelo Latore, Carmelo, Latore, L-A, capital T-O-R-R-E.
And Mr. Torre, you're obviously the owner of the property, you purchased property, and looking to have a satellite facility for Latore Construction here. I think when you purchased it, the homes were there, you demolished the homes?
I
Okay.
demolished the first home, right, the single
Okay.
family, and I intend to demolish the second one.
Great.
Approval.
All right, so tell us just briefly a little bit about you have an operation in Kenilworth. Tell us a little bit about this ancillary facility. Generally, hours of operation, what's going to occur here. I know in our preparation, it's low intensity, don't expect visitors and the like, and Nick will take us through the floor plans, but just briefly address that.
It would be a secondary storage for inside, small stuff, where we can, repair it and keep it out of the weather. And there won't be too many visitors other than the people that work for me, unless a salesperson or somebody comes by or a delivery of some kind. But it'll be all low key because our main facility is in Kenilworth. I just wanted this for something, like the smaller stuff to keep it out of the weather. Because right now we have it all outside and just want to keep it in.
Okay. And generally, what would be the hours of operation of this facility?
It would be, sometimes we get there early as 6 o'clock, but nobody's ever there past 6 o'clock at night.
Okay, how about weekends?
Very, very rarely. I mean, Saturdays maybe a few hours, but never on Sunday or anything.
Okay. And from an ownership standpoint, no issues with either the Collier's letter or the fire department letter?
No,
I assume you're excited about a
yes.
presence here in Union?
Yep.
Okay. No further questions at this time, Mr. Chairman?
Are there any board members with questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Are you parking cars there overnight? Any construction vehicles?
I don't think it'll be overnight. There might be a pickup truck in a parking lot or a car at time from time to time, but I don't think it's an area where I would like to leave stuff outside. It's kind of high traffic area volume. I just don't want to. So everything would be inside as much as I possibly could.
Will you be getting deliveries daily, weekly, or?
I'm sorry?
Will you be getting deliveries there, weekly, daily?
Very seldom. It's whatever we have, we would put inside the building. We don't get much deliveries. The deliveries usually go right to the job site itself. Unless there's parts they drop off or something that we ordered.
Thank you.
I also had a question, Mr. Chairman. Will there be any hazardous materials or anything like that that's kept inside?
Not that I would be aware of, other than maybe oils for whatever, or grease, things like that.
Okay, and how will they be?
Common automotive stuff.
And how will they be stored?
They're usually stored in metal containers, and we have metal shelving that we put it in, like we do in the other. We're not allowed to leave it, just laying around.
Are there any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So based on that question, will you be doing any type of mechanic work in there?
From time to time, possibly, yeah.
Will you have any lifts and stuff?
No, just minor stuff. Anything major we send out.
Okay.
Most of the stuff they'll do is clean something, really. Grease it, oil it, that kind of stuff. Very minor.
Any other questions of Mr. Latore? Are there any members of the public that would like to question the testimony Mr. Latore has given? Hearing none?
That's great. Thanks, Carmelo. I'd now like to call upon Nicholas Graviano.
Good evening, Mr. Graviano. Can I ask you to swear or affirm that any testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I swear, yes.
And for the record, just state and spell your name with your affiliation.
Yes, first name is Nicholas with an H, last name Graviano, G-R-A-V as in Victor, I-A-N-O. I'm a planner, partner, and designer with Graviano and Gillis, architects and planners with a business address of 101 Crawford's Corner Road in Homedale, New Jersey.
Thank you.
And Mr. Graviano, I know you've been before this board on many occasions. If you could, again, just briefly give your credentials.
Yes, my planning license is still valid. Have a bachelor's from Rutgers, master's from Rutgers, law degree
We'll
from
accept
Temple.
Mr. Graviano's
Thank you,
credentials.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, Mr. Graviano, if you could now take us through, you've heard the testimony of Mr. Deck as far as the site, from Mr. Latore as far as the operation. Take us through the floor plans, elevations, and layout of the building.
Certainly. I think, Mr. Pansula, this would be A4, the rendering.
Or A5.
A5, I'm sorry, A5. Start with the rendering. What you see here, as Mr. Hale indicated, is a one-story contractor storage/office building. The building was designed to make it look more office in appearance. Mr. Latore wanted me to add those second-floor windows to give it some curb appeal from Springfield Road. The building will be constructed of a decorative textured block. What you see here with the gray block with the lighter color belt courses going through to give the building some definition. There will be a door to the main storage area as well as a door to the office area. Now I'll get into the floor plans and elevations.
And these have been submitted and are part of the package, correct?
These are unaltered plans, part of the
Okay.
package. So what you see here is the building is 72 by 74 and a half. The main bulk of the building is the storage area. You'll see in the right corner of the building is a modest office, which is a little more than 16 and a half by 14 and a half feet, with a bathroom that'll be utilized to service the building. Here you have the elevations. The front elevation, which you saw in the rendering, this is the plan form of it. This is the rear elevation. There will be an egress door, and both side elevations are the same. All of the building will be the same decorative textured block with decorative elements to break up the blank walls that are on those sides. So that is the building in a nutshell, if anybody has any questions on that.
And just again, touching on it, I don't think there were any Collier issues that they had with respect to the building, and can confirm that the comments from Captain Guzman from Fire will be incorporated into the plans?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then if we could turn to now the planning proofs, and I know in my opening indicated where it's located off 22, the zone, and again, frankly, surrounded by the White Castle parking lot. But
Yeah, I got some chicken rings when I did my site visit.
there you go.
Yeah, you set it up perfectly in your intro. This is an area of transition as you go off of 22 down Springfield. Yeah, once you get past the STS and the White Castle parking lot, it definitely gets to more of a office/industrial nature in that neighborhood. This parcel is located in the CC zoning district. When you look at the purpose of the zoning district, it's larger lot, auto-dominated highway commercial uses on 40,000 square feet. So that certainly is not this lot. This lot is a lot that's off the beaten path at 15,000 square feet. This is certainly a use which is respected for the site. The applicant, while requesting a modest building coverage variance of 4.82%, is 11% below the permitted impervious coverage requirement. So the applicant isn't creating an excessive amount of impervious coverage on this lot. So the applicant is requesting a D1 use variance, and D1 variances, as you all know, could be granted in particular cases and for special reasons. That's the positive criteria, the D variance. Now, the purpose of zoning, which clearly amplifies the term special reasons is Purpose A of the municipal land use law, promotion of public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. And in a case where it's a non-inherently beneficial use, which here you have a commercial enterprise, the benefit to the community is when the site is particularly suited for the enterprise that is proposed. When you look at that term, particular suitability, here you have an undersized lot that does not have highway frontage. It is in an area which transitions to more industrial-type uses. So it's certainly a lot through the lot size and its location, which is particularly suited for the proposed use. The applicant must also demonstrate that it advances purpose of zoning of the municipal land use law. It certainly advances Purpose A, development of lands in a manner which will promote the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. And that's done by providing a commercial rateable with a low-intensity use on a site that could certainly accommodate it. Additionally, it advances Purpose G, sufficient space and appropriate location for a variety of commercial uses to meet the needs of New Jersey citizens. And then lastly, through Mr. Deck's site plan and our building, which is designed to look like an office building, it certainly promotes a desirable visual environment through creative development techniques and good civic design and arrangements. There's certainly no substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance with this proposal. Moving on to the C variances, the applicant is requesting a lot area, lot width, and lot depth variance. Those are all existing conditions not augmented by this application. Relief can certainly be granted under the C1 criteria, where strict application of the township zoning ordinance would create an undue hardship upon the developer. Now, the variances that are created by this application, the applicant is requesting a side yard setback variance, whereas 20 feet is required and 10 feet is proposed. Maximum building coverage variance, 30% is permitted, where 34.82% is proposed. And then lastly, a rear yard setback variance, whereas 50 feet is required and 10 feet is proposed. Now, when you look at the site in the site context, it's surrounded by parking lots on all four sides. The applicant certainly is not creating any light, air, or open space issues with the request of these variances, and they certainly could be granted without substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance.
Thank you very much. No further questions, Mr. Chairman?
Are there any board members that would like to question Mr. Graviano's testimony? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question the testimony the witness has provided? Hearing none, do you have another witness?
We have no further
Thank you,
witnesses,
Board.
but certainly those that have testified are here in case the board had further comments or questions for our witnesses.
Any comments?
Just one more question. On the Kyers report, it does say, how would you guys provide access to the dumpster, the trash dumpster?
Oh, Ed, can you touch on the, good point, thank you.
The proposed refuge area would be to the right of the building if you're standing in the street looking at it, and that'll be enclosed. And the way to access it, both for the occupants of the building and for the emptying of that disposal area, would be in the area where that double stack parking area is and whatever cars may be behind it. And again, the people that will be utilizing the double stack area would be occupants of the building. So those, and more than likely, as far as the removal of the trash, would be done usually in the morning or at night by a private hauler, and they would have access on the, I could show you on the
You want to take a look at the
site
site plan?
You could see, I guess I have to go back and to the right. This area here is the refuge area, and they have a sidewalk that goes from the front of the building to that area, and also to around the side. So there is access for the pedestrian traffic to access that trash enclosure area, and then, as I said, the private hauler would utilize these spots here, which if, in the event that there are cars parked there, they belong to the occupants of the building, and they'd be able to move them if they were asked to. Thank you.
Are there any other board comments? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to comment on this application? Hearing none, Counselor, would you like to
Yes,
come
just
up?
very briefly. Again, it's an exciting project. You said that 2 old homes there, one is gone, build this new beautiful building. Great location for this type of use, transitional, as Mr. Graviano said. No issues with the Collier's report, providing landscaping, lighting, drainage, and the like. And again, no problem complying with any of the fire department comments, and it'll be a nice low-intensity use for this area right off Route 22. So with all that said, we would look forward to the board granting this application and move forward with the project. So, thank you.
At this time, I believe we could counsel this. Mr. Bentavegna, would you like to begin?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Based on the testimony this evening, I feel the variance is justified and the property is well-suited. I also like to compliment on the rendering. It's definitely eye-catching. It's definitely going to be a nice improvement for that area. And I think it's a good application, so I'll be voting yes tonight.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I agree with my colleague. I see no detrimental aspects to this application, and the appearance will definitely enhance the area, and I think it's a good application. Good testimony by the experts, and I will definitely be voting yes.
Ms. Martins?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Great rendering, beautiful rendering. I think this is a great improvement to the site, so I will be voting yes as well.
Ms. Scott?
I also can agree with my colleagues. Great rendering, building looks very nice, very straightforward application. The testimonies were good. I don't see any detriment, and we'll be also voting yes. Thank you.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too concur with all of my colleagues, and I will be voting yes.
And Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I think this is a good project. The location is suited for this type of project. I think the benefits outweigh the type of detriments, and I don't think this project has any negative impact on the neighboring property, so I'm going to vote yes as well.
As for myself, I feel the applicant has proved and justified the variances requested. The proposed plan adjustment, site plan adjustments will allow the property to be better utilized. It's a well-designed and very nice-looking building. And Mr. Latore, the board wishes you good luck on your project. So I too will vote yes. At this time, may I have a motion and a second to move this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant this variance applicable to this application.
No, Mr. Wiley, you have to move the resolution.
Oh, the resolution.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have to move and second the application. You were right, I was wrong.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant this variance applicable to this application, and that council is directed to prepare a resolution consistent with the board's decision.
Second motion.
Roll call?
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Bentavegna?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
And Mr. Champion?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
April 2nd, we'll add it to the board's agenda to formally pass the
4-2?
resolution. April
Perfect.
2nd.
Well, thank you all very much. Have a great night, and hopefully see you on Saturday.
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before the board, I move that we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?